What is good, YouTube? It's your boy, OG Nonboy, back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over a very old team that's been around since the earlier seasons, and it was created by Wallower, which consists of the Shadow VICTREEBEL, Deoxys Defense, and Bastiodon here. So my Bastiodon is an XL, which, it obviously perform a little bit better if it was XL, but let's get into these matches here. So first match, we have an Altaria lead, and this is a very bad lead for us, so we pivot into our Deoxys Defense, and Deoxys Defense actually loses to the Altaria, so if they stay in here, like, they're gonna win the matchup still, but they actually pivot into their Azumarill here, so at this point, I kind of want to win switch since they're pretty loaded up on energy on their Altaria, and our Bastiodon more or less hard walls the Altaria. But we're going to have to go down shields probably to maintain this matchup, and the opponent goes for a Hydro Pump there, which helps us out a lot since, that's like the biggest move that they have, and it takes a long time to get to. So at this point, we might be able to flip switch here. And it might be like a little bit silly to try this, but I figured that this was my best chance of winning, since typically with Altaria leads, if they have an Azumarill, sometimes they also have a Swampert. Like, I've seen double water before, but a lot of times it is like a steel type in the back. And it ends up being a steel type in the back, so I mean, we really didn't have a choice or a win con in that game except for trying to maintain alignment, since like, even if we gave up switch there and had a shield advantage and farmed down with the VICTREEBEL, like, the same result would have occurred here. So GG's to that opponent. Next match, we have the VICTREEBEL into the Cresselia. So usually in neutral-ish matchups, like, you can just shield twice and then farm the opposing Pokemon all the way down. But these cycle cuts are hurting quite a bit. I probably should have done that, but instead I'm trying to switch into my Deoxys Defense here, and they end up going for a Grass Knot, but the Shadow VICTREEBEL is so glassy that, I mean, I'm okay with that shield anyways. And I'm gonna go ahead for this Thunderbolt, and I mean, this is okay. Like, we probably will be able to win switch back here, unless the opponent wants to go down a shield, and I kind of prefer if the opponent went down a shield, since, like, we'd be able to farm down with the Bastiodon, and we'd have energy for the next Pokemon that came in. But they're going to come back in with their Cresselia. They're going to fire off a move before I can reach anything. It's like pretty hard to farm down as a Cresselia with the Psycho Cut, since it does no damage, but they stay in here for a bit and they throw a Grass Knot, and you're going to see, like, my non-XL Bastiodon actually takes like a decent amount of damage from that. And at this point, our VICTREEBEL is already a little bit low, so it's going to be kind of hard to come back from this, since, like, the Scrafty here only has to go straight Power Up Punch, and they're going to be able to farm us all the way down. So they're going to be put pretty low, though, and they do decide to throw their move. So I'd rather tank this on the VICTREEBEL than my Bastiodon, but as you're going to see here, like, these double super effective counters are doing a lot of damage, so I can't actually farm this thing down before they farm me down, so I'm going to have to throw my move. And then I'm going to have to hope that I can get to a second Stone Edge on the Cresselia as well. And here we get a little bit of lag, so I don't know if they were able to sneak any moves in, but they definitely outpace us to the Stone Edge anyway, so we would have had to survive one. And non-XL Bastiodon kind of hurting us there, since maybe if we were the XL variant, like, we would have been able to get to the next, like, Stone Edge there to take out the Cresselia. But GG's to the opponent. I guess I did a poor job of editing this, but next match we have the VICTREEBEL into Skarmory, so this is a bad lead for us, obviously, so we're gonna have to swap out immediately into our Deoxys Defense. And here we also might want to win switch, since like, basically the VICTREEBEL, even if we come in here and farm down the Swampert after, like, it's gonna get aligned against the Skarmory, and if we're able to align our Bastiodon to the Skarmory, then we can just farm it all the way down without having to shield it all. So I'm gonna try to win switchback here, even if I have to go down a shield. And these cycle boosts are debuffed now, so this one probably won't even kill if they let it through, which it doesn't. And we're gonna have to counter this thing all the way down now at this point. So I'm gonna commit these last 2 shields to maintain switch here. And we're gonna see what the opponent brings back in. If they bring the Skarmy back in, we're gonna be able to get to a Thunderbolt. But they actually bring in a Machamp, so this works out okay for us since these Psycho Boosts, even though we're like debuffed like crazy, they're still gonna kind of hurt. And this should make it easy for our Victreebel to farm down this Machamp here. So Victreebel coming in here, and they bring the Skarmory in, so basically now we hard wall this Pokemon and we're gonna win the match. But this team is very much an alignment based team, so you kind of have to recognize like your win cons in terms of, you know, do I give up switch or do I like take a shield advantage and an energy advantage into the next matchup. But because Bastiodon and Victreebel are kind of like very polarizing Pokemon, like they either hard win their matchups or they like hard lose them. So, like you tend to want to maintain alignment. So now we're just gonna play this out. I'm gonna throw this move just so this goes by a little bit quicker since they're likely not gonna shield this. Because now my switch timer is up and I should be able to come in with my Victreebel and farm them all the way down. But GG's to that opponent. Next match we have the Victreebel into Deoxys, and this is one of those scenarios, like I said, where you can just basically like 2 shield and farm the opponent all the way down, but they actually decide to throw their Psycho Boost right away. So that means they're definitely going to leave this matchup. And then they bring in their Vigoroth. So I farm up to a Leaf Blade just to store it for later. But now I'm recognizing that this is also another Wallower team, which is the triple counter team. So they're going to have an Obstagoon in the back, which is kind of scary since our Bastiodon kind of doesn't have anywhere to go necessarily in this line. So I'm going to overfarm quite a bit here and then get to this Thunderbolt since I don't want to debuff myself. And then they're going to bring their Deoxys defense back in since they don't want to be taking like the double super effective counters on their Obstagoon in the back. So they decide to let this go, which is alright. And then they're going to take us out here. So now we're going to probably bring our Bastiodon in to farm this thing down. And we take a move here. So we're not going to have to spend our last shield on our Victreebel, and recognizing that is like kind of what allows me to win this game here. And I recognize that they're like most definitely going to shield, so the fast move damage is my win con in this situation, so I'm going to have to just basically Razor Leaf this thing all the way down. And they did re-raise their defense with the Obstruct, but they're not able to get to another move since that Obstruct takes a little bit longer to get to than the Night Slashes. Next match we have a Abomasnow lead, and they swap into a Azumarill, so this is another time where it's like very important to maintain swap, since if our Victreebel gets aligned to that Abomasnow in the front, then we're basically going to lose this game. So I'm gonna invest shields here. I don't even care if I have to go down shields to like win this matchup, since our Deoxys defense also does well against the Abomasnow, so we're likely going to see the last Pokemon anyways. So gonna just keep playing out this matchup. Both these Pokemon are very tanky, so it's gonna take a while to play through this matchup. And also it's like the same thing with the Bastiodon in like the last match, right? Like when you get your Bastiodon stuck up, oh my god, I can't even talk. Stuck up against a like flying type, you're gonna have to stay in there for quite a bit like of time. So now they bring in a Medicham, and we're gonna have to attempt to farm this thing all the way down. They're definitely gonna get to 2 Ice Punches here, but as you're gonna see here, like the Ice Punch doesn't actually kill the Shadow Victreebel from a Medicham. So this leaves us in a pretty solid position since these Smackdowns are really chunking the Abomasnow here, and we're in a pretty dominant position. Like even though we're not XL, like they're not going to be able to take us out. So GG's to that opponent. They can see the match there. So overall, like, this team still kind of works. Like, it is a little bit RPS, but as you can see there, like, having good team knowledge and recognition of when to maintain switch, and like having a read on your opponent's teams was able to like help us out of a lot of sticky situations there. So overall, team still kind of performs well. Definitely would perform better if, you know, you have a XL Bastion on. But that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and also submit your battles in the link in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one.